People, simple things, fam. 3 years later with the Honda E, 3 years with my first electric vehicle. Let me tell you how that went down, innit? And before man goes any further, obviously, big shout out to the sponsor for today's video. The guys at AndCharge have got this little cool app where you can basically find your local charging stations, report them, and get rewards for reporting the charging station thing. All the information and the links are in the description section below. Now, if you don't already know, man's done bare videos for the Honda E already. You can find them all around the channel, so make sure you subscribe and like. We're going to go into how this thing has survived over the past 3 years and 40,000 miles, and also how it's just been to own an electric car, fam. Like, the electric car thing has been long. It's not like the petrol car thing. So I'm going to go into a couple of them differences as well. So let's go through. Now, the things I'm going to be focusing on in this review are just things that have really gone wrong. Like, everything I don't really mention means that there's no issues. Like, for example, I'm not really going to mention much about the camera mirrors or the side view mirrors because nothing has gone wrong with them. They do get a little bit unclear if a raindrop of water lands on them whilst you're driving. And they're a little awkward to get to clean them off, especially if you're driving and you need to get to the one on the passenger side. But apart from that, the exterior, has basically remained the same over the past 3 years. No issues there, innit? Now, as for the charging port's still working. No issues there, really. The only issues that I've ever had with the charging port has usually been with the chargers that I'm connecting it to. So if the charger is not working for whatever reason, it will just show up a red light, and that means that you're just in for a long day, But apart from that, opening the charging port, closing the charging port, opening the charging port remotely with the keys, no issues there. There was an issue a couple years back where it was snowing, and because the charging port was shut, it was iced shut kind of thing. So I had to wait for it to thaw out before I could open the charging port and charge my car. But apart from that, yeah, man, it's been pretty easy still. Also, I just wanted to mention the fact that you can actually wind down the windows with the key by pressing the lock and the unlock buttons respectively. I didn't realize this in my previous videos, and I think I even said that the car can't do it. It is in the manual, but you know, bad man don't read the manual. So yeah, just wanted to make you guys aware of that feature is included in the car, innit? Even though I just realized 3 years later. Now, speaking of the key, the key's been pretty much okay over the past 3 years. I've only had to change the battery once. Strangely enough, I've also had to change the battery in the spare key, even though I don't use it. So it looks like regardless of whether it's the spare key or the main key that you're actually using on a daily basis, you have to change that battery at least once every 2 years. The battery drain seems to be the same, whether it's the main key or not. So yeah, just bear that in mind if you ever have to go to your spare key. Now, next up, we got the interior. Obviously, my favorite part of the car. This is where all the technology is, all the screens. Anytime somebody has seen this car for the first time, especially the interior, they have to talk about the screens, fam. 1 for the rear view, 2 for the side view mirrors, 2 up front, 1 behind the wheel, and the 2 up front got HDMI. These are wicked. It's a sick setup. Arguably the best setup I've ever seen in a car. My only issue is that there have been absolutely 0 updates in the last 3 years, which is weird because this is supposed to be a techie car. So it should be updated all the time. Like, why are we using the same dead GPS app that came shipped with the car 3 years ago? Like, this car literally runs on Android OS. So why are we not using Google Maps? You know, so that instead of me having to use Android Auto on my phone, I can just use Google Maps natively like they do in the Renault Megane Electric. Everything else in the car pretty much works, fam. As you can see, my passenger seat is a little bit stained because whoever has been eating food on the passenger side has been moving mad. But, you know, let me not dwell on that too long. Furthermore to that, the only update for the back of the car is that the covers that are supposed to go over the USB ports in the back of the car keep falling off. I've got one at the moment. At one point, both of them fell off. I managed to get them replaced, and one of them has fallen off again. It is what it is. Another thing I don't think I ever mentioned is that the seats go all the way back, fam. So if you're trying to get that snooze on when you're waiting for a charge quickly, you just unlock the thing, push your back, and you're pretty much good to go to get that snooze on until your car is charged up, fam. Now, you guys probably already know the situation with the boot. It's probably one of the smallest boots amongst all the EVs out there. But for what I need it for, it fits mostly everything inside. I think I'll just unpack the car so you guys can see what's going on here. You got a couple of my babe's nursing equipment, a Malibu, couple of drinks, shoes in there. It's okay, and a whole bin bag full of other stuff. I don't even know what's going on in that bin bag. But I've got a subwoofer in the back of the car as well. Definitely enough for your weekly shopping. Definitely enough for most shopping. All right, now in terms of the driving, guys, I can't lie. There's not much updates even over the past 3 years, which is a good thing because I'm still getting that day one experience, day one acceleration, day one comfort because of the suspension of the car, and day one in terms of all the mirrors and stuff like that working. So inside the cockpit, as far as the driving is concerned, we're pretty much all good to go. Now on to the good stuff. Let's talk about charging. Let's talk about range. Let's talk about the charging infrastructure and how it's grown in the past 3 years. Because obviously, I'm not going to lie, it's not as bad as it was. But compared to other parts of the UK, especially in London, the charging infrastructure is not where it needs to be to properly, fully support EV drivers. Yes, the Honda E has a ridiculously low top mileage or top range, but that wouldn't matter if there were as much EV charging points as there were petrol stations. You get it? Now, for me, the app I've been using to help me get past this dodgy charging infrastructure we got here in the UK is the AndCharge app. And not only does it help you find your local charging stations, it also lets you report the working condition of them so that other EV drivers can be alerted. But also the charging vendors themselves can also be alerted through the app so that they know to come and fix their EV charging stations to get it working a lot quicker. And furthermore, to reporting the condition of the charging station, the AndCharge app also rewards you with points that you can redeem against shopping online or even getting more charges for your car, fam. So literally, just by telling people that a charger is working or is not working, you get free credits which you can use to buy more electricity for your car. It's a win-win thing still. So people, right now, man is on 15%, and I need to find a little charger. Luckily, man has the AndCharge app, and it's told me the location of a little BP posting that's nearby. So we're gonna run up on that, and we're gonna see what's really good. All right, now people, I found a little BP post charger behind me, courtesy of the AndCharge app. And just like I saw on the AndCharge app, there's no issues here whatsoever. The thing is all good to go. So what man's gonna do is obviously pop open my car. First of all, get the charging port ready. And then all man's gonna do is connect the charger to my car. Boom, boom, boom. Wait, where's my BP postcards? People, man's found my BP postcard. You don't need this for BP post machines, but obviously if you use it, you get a little discounting in it. So obviously, I'm gonna just go boom, because I'm a member, scan my card, boom, select which charging station man wants, boom, and then that's it. My car is starting to charge now, and that's literally how simple it is to charge my car. Whilst my car is charging, I'm going to do a little AndCharge check-in to let other road users know what the condition of this charging station is like. Think of it as a little quick survey where it allows you to take a picture of the charging station so that you can alert other road users as to what this charging station looks like, because for whatever reason there's no uniform design that all these charging stations have. So it's nice to be able to look at the app and see what the charging station looks like. Furthermore to this, it will ask you the condition of the charging station itself. So are the cables and the chargers themselves at the charging station in a good condition? Are they working? Are they broken? Are they bent? Do they fit in the car and charge your car easily, kind of thing? These are all things that you don't really know because it's not like there's someone manning all these charging stations. They're usually on their own, and it's just the driver and the charging station, not like a petrol station where you've probably got a member of staff that can help you out if a petrol pump isn't pumping. What I find really useful are the questions about parking, because I've been to a lot of charging stations that happen to be where there's a permit parking area, and it's never clear as to whether you're allowed to park and charge your car there for free if you don't have a permit. And I've seen bare situations where people have been charging their cars and they've ended up getting a PCN ticket just because they didn't know what the situation was when they were charging their cars. All right, people, so I'm finished charging now. Man's gonna stop the charge. Now, obviously, to stop the charge, I have to swipe my card again because I used my card this time round. So we're gonna just go boop. And literally, that's it, fam. It says your card has been detected. Welcome back. Shows me how much I charged. And literally, all I'm gonna do right now is unplug the charger from my car, put this back into here. Boom. Slap that shut, and right there, the charging is done. Now, it's not everywhere in the UK which has a dead charging infrastructure like Southeast London does. Man went up to Birmingham by the NEC the other day. There was like a theme park of electric vehicle chargers, fam. I'm talking at least 20 hyperchargers, which are like 50 kilowatts and upwards. And there was like maybe 50 or 60 slow chargers, which are like the 7 kilowatt and 22 kilowatt things, which will charge your car in a couple of hours. Why is this not all over the UK, fam? I don't know. Now, another thing that EV users don't like to admit is that charging your car now costs nearly 4 times as much as it used to 3 years ago when I first got my car. When I first got my car, it used to cost me like £3 to fill up my car to 100%, cause now to fill it up to the same 100%, we're looking at £12 to £15. And bear in mind, the Honda E only goes 100 miles range. £15 for 100 miles. Is it worth it? I'm gonna have to let you guys be the judge. Now, luckily for me, I've already been banging out the AnCharge app and doing bare little check-ins and surveys to let other road users know what the condition of their local charging stations are saying. And because of this, AnCharge have given me bare points which I can either redeem on selected online retailers like Apple and Amazon, or I can redeem them on EV charging apps in order to get myself some free charge next time I'm at a charging station. So not only are you helping to maintain the EV charging infrastructure, but you're also getting paid to do it. Like, it's a win-win. Now, I got a couple of questions from my other videos that people were asking me about the Honda E. Someone was asking, like, what's the servicing situation like? Obviously, when man copped the car, I did like a 5-year service plan thing where every year you get a service or you pay for it up front kind of thing, or it's every 12,000 miles, I believe. So I think I'm on my 4th service now, 3 years later, because man has done mad mileage on the car, bare motorway miles. So that's been pretty much chill because I paid that up front and it was kind of included in the PCP price. Next thing people were asking me was about the MOT. Now, I've only had one MOT on this car because it's only just come to being 3 years old. Literally went to the MOT guy, my brother in East Down Motors, Lewisham. He had done no skirt. I'll put his links in the description section below. But anyway, man gave him the thing and it was done in like 15 minutes, bruv. Like, no issues at all. Another thing people then were asking me is about the tires. Now, obviously, we've got the rear wheel drive thing, and man is a little piece heavy-footed with the acceleration of this car. I think in 40,000 miles, I've changed the tires about 3 times, and that's twice on the rear tires and only once on the front tires kind of thing. So I guess over the space of 3 years and 40,000 miles, that's not too bad. These rear tires are due for another change though, so £120 a piece, we're gonna have to make it happen, innit? Anyway, people, I think at the end of the day, after the PCP is done with this car, I was wondering whether I'm gonna keep it or not, and I'm leaning towards keeping it because even with the range, doing a Mazzolini and, you know, only getting like 100 miles, best case scenario, I think that the acceleration of the car, the drive of the car, the feel of the car, the comfort, and just the fact that it has all these parking sensors and cameras and technology make it the perfect fit for a techie person like me. So yeah, for me, I'm going to keep it past the PCP. But let me know what you guys think. Are you looking at picking up a Honda E? Have you already picked up the Honda E? How did you find the video? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, big shout out to the guys at AnCharge. Their app and all the information you can find in the description section below.